Well, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Happy Friday. We made it, almost anyway, to the end of the work week. Not quite there yet. One more day to go, and for us, it's a big day here at the NCW Life channel. It is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Friday the 13th. More on that later. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Yeah, working again tonight. We did the soccer game last night, Cashmere and East Mo. We'll be right back at it again tonight, right back at the same location. Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee, only we'll have a football game for you tonight. We got the Pasco Bulldogs coming to town to take on the East Mo Wildcats. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. If you can't make it out to Wildcat Stadium tonight, you can watch it right here on the NCW Life channel. Happy Friday, lots going on. Good morning, Charity, checking in on our Facebook page. Big change in the weather, big change in the weather. It's going to happen later on today. It's kind of already starting to happen a little bit now, but there's a pretty active cold front going to pay us a visit. We'll get to the weather forecast in just a little bit, but basically it's going to feel very much like autumn, even though we still have 10 more days of summer to go. Weather forecast coming up, quite a bit of news, a lot of sports, including highlights from last night's Eastmont Cashmere girls soccer game, and we'll preview the Bulldogs and the Wildcats football game for tonight. Plus, we have the obscure holiday today and history, birthdays, and everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. Speaking of sports, the Wenatchee Wild have their home opener tonight. The Vernon Vipers are in town, not only tonight, but tomorrow night. Vernon's in town, and we'll be talking to Arch Ecker and David Rayfield. Arch, of course, everybody knows Arch. He's the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Dave Rayfield is the senior sales and operations dude. And he dropped by and paid us a visit when Megan and I went to the Town Toyota Center a couple of days to talk Wild hockey. They get going tonight, too. Lots going on this weekend. Exciting weekend. 2 minutes after the hour, let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. Courtesy of Local Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. Cross camera zoomed in just a skosh, looking good. We can move these things around. They're PTZ cameras. That's an acronym for pan, tilt, and zoom. And right now, we are zoomed into the Wenatchee Valley proper. Pretty good looking Friday morning, 59 degrees. Strange weather phenomenon yesterday. This rarely happens. On Thursday, our high temperature yesterday afternoon was 78. Our normal high for the 12th of September, 78. Our low last night, overnight low, 54. Our normal overnight low for September 12th, 54. It was an exact normal day. Well, it wasn't, but I mean, from Mother Nature's perspective anyway. Camera 2, where are we off to, Megan? I get to guess. She gets, Waterville? Rude Canyon. Okay, Rude Canyon. That's, you move the camera on me. That's rather rude of you, Megan. Or that's rather canyon of you, Megan. That's a great view of Rude Canyon. That's just gorgeous, isn't it? I love it up there. As you can see, there's a lot of television towers and repeaters and transmitters up there because that's how the system works. There you go. Good morning, Rude Canyon. By the way, we're the number 7 rated live local television show in the greater Rude Canyon area. Camera number 3. Oh, there's Steve and Lynette's summer home, so that's Monument Hill out there in Quincy. Moved a little bit. You can see the Clockham area way off to the way off in the distance. That shack that you see there is an old transmitter shack that dates back to, I believe, the 40s. It's been abandoned and they've moved it to another location, but the building still stands. Now that's what you call rustic living. What do they call that? That would be a dry cabin. No electricity and no running water. Good morning to our friends in Quincy. And by the way, I saw your new football field yesterday at the high school. That is pretty spectacular. Camera 4. What do we got, Megan? That is the Nanapoc Ridge. Hey, I got one right. I wonder if that's rain. No, that's not rain. I think that's just flaring on the lens there. Or maybe it could be rain. Actually, you can see that little strip of barren land. That's where those high-powered lines go through that area there. Beautiful view from up there in Lake Wenatchee. I have not spent any time at Lake Wenatchee this year. That's a my bad. I really like it up there. I like Cater Glen Golf Course, and I just like being in the woods. Anyway, I got to get up there. That's a my bad. I'm putting that on my list right now, except I can't do it this weekend. I got things going on. So that's our tour around North Central Washington on this Friday the 13th, 5 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service, your forecast. There you go. Cold front's going to move in tonight, and that means we are in for some wind. There you go. Everybody's going to get a little bit of wind, as you can see, for the Columbia Basin, the Plains, the Palouse, and, of course, the Wenatchee area. What are we looking at wind-wise today? Northwest wind this morning, about 6 to 11 miles an hour. As this cold front really starts moving in this afternoon, winds will be picking up to about 12 to 17 miles an hour, but we could see the occasional gust as high as 28 miles an hour. So it's going to be breezy, especially later on today, right through sunset. When the sun goes down, the winds will die down a little bit, so not particularly windy tonight, but certainly windy, especially this afternoon. Again, gusts up to 28 miles an hour for the Wenatchee Valley, a possibility. So front's moving in. It's going to be breezy, and then another weather system arrives on Sunday, and it's going to linger for a little bit. So to recap, partly sunny and windy today, high of 76. Cloudy tonight, winds die down after sunset, 58 for the overnight low. Mostly cloudy Saturday. No rain in the forecast, just lots of clouds, high of about 75. That's a little bit below normal. Start talking about a little bit of rain on Saturday night, nothing big. And then we have a very good chance of rain on Sunday. It's about a 60% chance of precipitation. No thunderstorms, just kind of rainy. And a high of about 68 on Sunday. Sunday night, continued off and on rainfall. We'll dip down to about 59. And this unsettled cool weather, you see mostly sunny, but those temperatures are going to be a little bit below normal. So it's going to feel like autumn. No question about it through the weekend and into the next early part of next week. Sunrise this morning was at 6:35. Sunset tonight will be at 7:17. That buys us 12 hours and 42 minutes of daylight, as we're only got about 10 days of summer left to go. 6.5 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. When we come back, your Friday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurance Services of North Central Washington, where we like to teach our customers how to shop and compare from all the Medicare options. Now, a lot of folks will come in and tell me, Jim, I'm so confused about all these choices. In fact, there's 21 reasons you can join a Medicare plan. But we want to focus on the specific plan that's right for you. So if that's what you need, give us a call at Senior Insurance, 888-2600, or visit one of our 5 locations.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion of CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
Welcome back. It is 8 minutes after the hour. Fair skies, 59 degrees. Partly sunny, breezy today, and then lots of clouds and some rain come Sunday. Here's your Friday morning news. An Edmonds man crashed a stolen vehicle near Warden on Wednesday, then allegedly stole the car of the Good Samaritan who stopped to help him. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says 25-year-old Jarrett Hester, well, he wasn't done yet, with a Grant County Sheriff's deputy in pursuit. Hester made his way to I-90 in the stolen Ford Excursion. He then was spotted by a Moses Lake police officer exiting onto Highway 17, sped through the parking lot of a Sherry's restaurant into a field, and that is when the Ford got stuck in more than a foot of water. Hester then took off on foot to a nearby West Coast auto sales store, and that's where the sheriff's office reports he was arrested by pursuing deputies while trying to steal another vehicle. He was jailed on multiple charges. The sheriff's office says drug use is suspected. Mixed economic news on the Wenatchee job front this morning. More people are working this year than last year, but the number of new jobs being created has gone down. This is the latest economic report from the State Employment Security Department. According to that report, the region had 900 more non-farm jobs in July of this year than July of last year. The 1.9% increase is down from the 2.9% increase from 2017 to 2018, which was ahead of the state's growth rate at that time. Now, the number of people living here and looking for work also grew, and that means an increase in the unemployment rate. It's now 4%, up from last year's 3.2%. The number of unemployed in the two-county region for the month of July climbed by 657. There are 3,197 unemployed people in the two-county region, while the labor force expanded by 525 people to 79,626. The jobless rate has been creeping upward, by the way, for the last 8 months. Well, a shipping closure on the Bonneville Lock and Dam should not have much impact on most Waterville Plateau wheat farmers. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says it has to replace a concrete wall section in the Bonneville Navigation Lock. River traffic should resume by the end of this month, and a lot of Washington growers, they ship their produce by river barge through Bonneville, but Highline Grain Growers, that's the co-op, which represents about 3,000 farmers and landowners north of I-90, they ship most of their product by truck or by rail. CEO Paul Katovich says harvest is wrapping up with about a 95% of the yield has already been harvested and shipped on down the road. Well, over 250 veterans expected to take part on Saturday's Stand Down event. It is held once again this year at the Wenatchee National Guard Armory on 5th Street. It's partly organized by the group Vets Serving Vets of North Central Washington. Spokesman Ron Bruno says the event is held to help dishonorably discharge veterans in need with clothing, books, boots, blankets, and other items.
Well, it's try to get them that little extra oomph, little extra edge, so that they can get going and stand on their own 2 feet and support themselves. We are going to be doing things a little bit different this year. Before, we've let people kind of come in and take what they felt they needed. We are going to limit 1 per item. And in doing so, I just want everybody to remember that the reason we're doing what we're doing is because everything that we have left over from this stand down is going to be going north to Okanagan County to help out our brothers and sisters up there.
Organizers were faced with some challenges after the big rainstorm on Thursday threatened to put a damper, so to speak, on the stand down event.
Had a little bit of a surprise. We had most everything you can see behind us here. We had set outside, we had it all covered up so the weather wouldn't bother it or anything else. And the big storm that came through, we didn't give it a thought, but it actually piled up deep enough that our pallets of merchandise that we have for the veterans was good on top. It was dry, but on the bottom where the water piled up so much, it started soaking it up from the bottom up.
So you've had a cleanup project here in advance of your big event?
All day long yesterday, we were a bunch of guys running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to get things dry so we could get them put away, get them put up to be able to distribute Saturday. So,
among the other activities, veterans can get a free health care screening. The VA van will be in town, also a free haircut and a free massage. The event runs from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock tomorrow. Veterans, by the way, are required to bring proof of service documents for admission. Congresswoman Kim Schreier going to be in our neck of the woods tomorrow with 3 appearances, including a town hall. First, she's going to tour the McDougall & Sons Fruit Facility in Old Station. That happens at 11:15. Then the town hall, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the East Wenatchee City Hall. Then she'll attend Fiestas Mexicanas at Lincoln Park in Wenatchee. Schreier, of course, is a Democrat who won election to the 8th District in 2018. There's a lot of things going on this weekend. Thank goodness we have an expert. Her name is Megan McPherson. Your weekend events.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The Sangster Motors BNCW Home Tour and Remodeling Expo is this Friday through Sunday. This year, BNCW is very proud to showcase 10 fabulous homes located throughout the greater Wenatchee Valley. These homes are being presented by home builders who take a great deal of pride in the quality and detail of their homes. The builders and their specialty contractors stay on top of the latest in design trends, innovative floor plans, and cutting-edge technology, and they're eager to share with you their knowledge and expertise. Take your time and use all 3 days to come and visit the homes at your leisure. Take advantage of having industry professionals available and ready to answer your questions at each home. Mission Creek Players presents The Elephant Man this Friday and Saturday at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. John Merrick is a horribly deformed young man, a victim of rare skin and bone diseases. Seen as a freak by society, his life changes when a young physician agrees to care for him. Get your tickets at numericapac.org. The Upper Valley Museum will be sponsoring the Downtown Historical Walking Tour in Leavenworth this Saturday. The new starting place for the guided tour begins at the Lions Club Park by the swimming pool at 10 a.m. Come early and have a pancake breakfast at 7:30 and then take the guided tour. The tour is 1 to 2 hours on flat ground and is about 2 miles long. There is a donation fee of $5. Everyone is encouraged to wear good walking shoes and bring water. And finally, this Saturday from 12 to 5, Cascade Medical Foundation invites you to enjoy an afternoon touring 5 unique homes in Plain, most of them along the river. A fun additional stop is at Plain Cellars, where your ticket earns you a free wine tasting. Food will be on sale from Taste of Plain. Glass babies will be on sale at one home as well. All proceeds of the tour benefit new 3D mammography technology at Cascade Medical. Tickets are $20 each and available at Plain Hardware and online at cascademedicalfoundation.org. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Yeah, it's that time of the year. A lot of things going on in the month of September. Whatever you do this weekend, don't forget, take us along. We're portable. Yeah, we stream all the time. Go to ncwlife.com, click on the Watch Now icon, and whatever we're broadcasting over the course of the weekend, you can enjoy it while you're out and about. Don't forget the news will come your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock with Grant Olson and Eric Grandstrom. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The news. What happened on this Friday? We'll put it all together in a nice little package. If you can't watch it on TV, you can watch it on demand on your computer, on your smart device, on your tablet, on your phone, whatever it is. Again, by logging on to ncwlife.com, 16 minutes after the hour. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 15 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel. Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
People are really skeptical of our industry. They have been sold products, they have been sold policies they either don't need, don't understand, confusing. I understand that. We are more about the process and the people. Our SFG roadmap is designed to take care of all of those concerns. For those that have questions about their retirement, we would love the opportunity to sit down and chat with you.
Minutes after the hour, sports, and it's a lot to get to. Megan Chandler, Jaden Brown, they had great games for Eastmont. The Wildcats took on the Cashmere Bulldogs, walked away with a 5-3 victory last night at Wildcat Stadium. The Bulldogs started out really good. In fact, they had a 2-1 lead at halftime, but then Eastmont came storming back with 4 second-half goals to earn the victory. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen had the call right here on the NCW Life channel.
Go through ball that time. This could be interesting. Chandler the shot. Go, 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 go! Megan Chandler for the Eastman Wildcats. 21-54. Just when we were talking about how patience would make a difference, she took all kinds of time delivering the final touch. To check out their fall tire sale going on now. The shot. Oh my goodness! Wow! What a strike! What a strike for the Cashmere Bulldogs. 25-43. Impressive, to say the least, stuff for the Cashmere Bulldogs to tie this contest. Waiting for it. She needs to stay on the side. Instead, it's a personal maneuver by Diaz into the box right for the shot. Alley ball, it looks like, and Cashmere takes the lead. Jaden Brown. Plenty of room on the left side. Shot across. Go, 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 go! Beautiful combination. I believe it's Megan Chandler sinking it in. And it favors the Eastman Wildcat. Go, oh my goodness, go, 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 go! And the turnaround is complete. It was ultimately Tess Sparks, top of the box. Into the box, the shot! Go, 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 go! Eastman on the counter now. Carson. Into the box. Gets past one. Faces the goalkeeper. Go, 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 go! And Jaden Brown has a hat trick. Now Diaz. Left-footed shot. Diaz, go, 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 go! Boy, she knows what to do with the ball on her feet, doesn't she?
She does. She's got good balance, good strength, and can find those pockets in the side of the net.
So it's 5-3 Eastmont. Brown not very happy with herself after that touch. And there's the whistle that tells us this game is over.
Yeah, very entertaining game. We were glad we could bring it to you. Another soccer play, by the way, last night. Cascade edged Ephrata 2-1, as you can see. We don't know who won the Chelan-Quincy matchup. If you know, let us know. Will you? Nobody reported it. Girls volleyball last night. Wenatchee traveled to Chelan, and the Goats came out on top. 3-0. Manson down Lake Roosevelt, and Waterville Mansfield defended their home floor. Knocked off Aniat. 3-0 to the Les Schwab Prep football scoreboard. They had a game last night. Aniat won a wild one at home against Wilbur Creston, 68-60. Of course, coming up tonight under the Friday Night Lights, will feature Eastmont and Pasco at Wildcat Stadium. For senior defensive back Wesley McElwain, the offseason was filled with workouts and determination. They want to repeat the successful season that they had last year.
Basically, what we took from it is we had a good season, but we have a lot of improving to do. And, of course, our goal is to win the Big Nine, but we want a bigger goal, and that's to go further than just the first round of the playoffs.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty big. Well, you guys get a long road trip last week, have to travel all the way to Tacoma. What did you expect, and what did you think of the game after the fact?
I always expect to be in a fight, obviously, because that's football. But I just thought we played good, but we had a lot of mistakes that we need to clean up, and hopefully we can do it this week.
McElwain led the way last week in Eastmont's 42-0 win over Wilson High School. He had a touchdown reception on offense, an interception return for a touchdown on defense.
Basically, I just got my hands on the receiver, saw the ball, caught it, and the blocking downfield was great, and just took it to the house.
Do you guys have something you holler once you make a pick?
Usually ice.
Okay.
We say ice.
Okay, so then everybody knows, hey, it's time to find somebody to block.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What's this about you being on the offense?
Coach just wanted to get me in. He said he likes what I can do with the ball sometimes, so he just gave me a shot, and I just took the chance.
So getting in the end zone on a reception, how's that feel versus a pick six?
Defense is way better. Yeah.
I like it when he's honest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, measure that and kickoff punt return touchdown. Which is better?
I'm still going to go defense, but kick returns are fun.
The Wildcats are 1-0. Pasco is 1-0. Sports Director Eric Granstrom asked McElwain what he expects from Pasco tonight.
They're definitely a lot better, and they have weapons, but I feel like as long as we stick to our game plan and play the way we do, we'll be fine.
Tell me, and for our viewers, what do you like to do when you're not playing football?
I just hang out with my friends. We just, hang out as a group, listen to music, do fun things.
Okay. Is it still video games, that type of thing? Minecraft or something like that? Or?
Nah, not Minecraft. We play like 2K or Madden.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, I'm not so far out of the loop.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, best of luck tonight and the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Eastmont and Pasco. It'll be a good one. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. Eric Granstrom and Grant Olson with the call tonight on the NCW Life Channel. On the prep football schedule, Wenatchee will be hosting Lewiston, Brewsters at Quincy. Manson on the road at Tenasket. Waterville Mansfield celebrates homecoming against Liberty Bell. Cashmere will not be rude, but they will be in Sultan, Warden, in Chelan. Those games kick off at 7. Moses Lake will be at Joe Albee Stadium to take on Mount Spokane at 7:30. Joe Albee will not be there. College football. Cougars play tonight. The number 20 Washington State Cougars taking on the other Cougars. Houston, that's on ESPN, 6 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, Eastern Washington is at Jacksonville State. Central Washington will host Ferris State. And at 4:30, the Huskies will try and bounce back from their loss to Cal with a game at Husky Stadium against Hawaii. Seahawks on the road Sunday in Pittsburgh. Of course, Seattle 1-0 after knocking off Cincinnati 21-20. Steelers 0-1. They got embarrassed by New England 33-3 last week. Kickoff Sunday, 10 a.m. at Heinz Field. Coming up on the prep sports schedule for the weekend, girls soccer. Cascade plays at Seattle Academy tomorrow at noon. Eastmont is in Hazen for a 1 o'clock game. At 1 o'clock, it's Wenatchee hosting Ingram, Cashmere's and Prosser. Also, Chelan and Cascade are down in Yakima tomorrow morning for the start of the Sundome Volleyball Festival. Indiana will host Bridgeport in volleyball. Cashmere will play at Clay Elm. Prep cross-country schedule on Saturday. Chelan, Eastmont, Ephrata, Moses Lake, and Wenatchee. They'll be in Spokane for the Highlander Invitation at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning at Wapato Point. You got the Manson Invite with Cascade, Cashmere, Lake Roosevelt, Omak, and Manson, the host team. Wenatchee will host their annual swimming and diving invitational meet with Eastmont, Ellensburg, Walla Walla, and West Valley. They'll be in the pool starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And, of course, the Wenatchee Wild. They open their home part of their 2019-2020 schedule tonight at the Town Toyota Center. The Vernon Vipers are in town. Games tonight, games tomorrow. The puck will drop at 7:05. Of course, Arch Ecker and David Rayfield will be talking about that series coming up in the second half of the program. Mariners lost to Cincinnati 11-5 last night, but another incredible evening for Kyle Lewis. This guy is a ball player. A triple away from the cycle. He went 3 for 5, a home run, a double, and an RBI. He's played just 3 Major League games. He's batting .455. Freddie Galvis hit a grand slam home run in the 7th off Dan Altavilla to put the Reds up for good. They salvaged the final game of the series. The White Sox are in town. UC Kikuchi will start for the Mariners. Chicago will go with Dylan Covey. Finally, the American League West scoreboard from last night. Pennant races are getting hotter. Nick Solak, 2 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Texas got past Tampa Bay 6-4. Matt Olson's 2-run homer off Justin Verlander was the difference. Oakland edged Houston 3-2. So the A's leapfrogged Tampa Bay and Cleveland into the first wildcard playoff spot in the American League. The Rays are in the 2nd spot, and the Indians right behind them. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday, 26 minutes after the hour. It's Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Ooh. Friday the 13th occurs at least once every calendar year. It can occur up to 3 times in a calendar year. Of course, since the very ancient of ancient times, since the famous Last Supper, 13 has been considered a day of bad luck. Sailors would never sail on the 13th of any month, period. That kind of deal. Of course, they don't plant crops on the 13th back in the ancient times. Buildings don't have a 13th floor. That kind of nonsense. I think it's all nonsense, quite frankly, but that's just me. Friday the 13th is something entirely different because there are people who are afraid of Fridays. They suffer from parasketivia, something like that. That's the fear of Friday. If you're afraid of the number 13, you suffer from triskaidekaphobia. And if you're afraid of Friday the 13th specifically, then you suffer from you're odd. There you go. I can't pronounce it. Happy Friday the 13th. Now I'm scared. Let's do today in history, the 13th day of September. 205 years ago was the turning point of the War of 1812. The British failed to capture Baltimore. They tried to capture Baltimore. They couldn't. And during the course of that famous battle, Francis Scott Key wrote a poem called The Defense of Fort McHenry. It was later put to music, and it later will become the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem. 157 years ago today, Union soldiers found a copy of Robert E. Lee's battle plans for the Battle of Antietam in a field outside Frederick, Maryland. They thought for a minute it was a con job, that they left it there on purpose and it was to fake them out and they were going to do something else. No, it was the actual battle plans that Bob Lee left behind. You know, apparently he didn't check his luggage or something, I don't know. So the Union had a heads up on what the Confederacy was going to be up to right before the Battle of Antietam. They found the battle plans on the state back in 1862. And happy 34th birthday to Super Mario Brothers. It was released for the very first time. Of course, you control Mario, or in the 2-player game, his brother Luigi, and you travel through the Mushroom Kingdom to rescue Princess Toadstool from Bowser. That game was huge, terribly addicting. I remember I'm sorry, Megan? Princess Toadstool, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. Is it Princess Peach? That game was so addicting. I'm telling you, it was totally addicting. The endorphin release I got when I got all the way through Super Mario Brothers for the first time, it was a beautiful thing. It's 34 years old today. Finally, let's do birthdays. Nobody that I know of is 34 years old today. John J. Pershing was born in this date in 1860, the American general who led us to victory in World War I. He is the only American to be promoted while he was still alive to General of the Armies, which is the highest possible rank in the United States Army. Only 2 people have ever had that rank, George Washington, and he had been dead for 200 years, and John J. Pershing. During the course of World War II, when they came up with the idea of a 5-star general, John J. Pershing was still alive, and they said, well, what do we do? So we're going to make him a 6-star general because he's John J. Pershing. He's a legend. He was born in the state in 1860. He died in 1948 at the age of 87. Jacqueline Bisset is 75 years old today. Happy birthday, Jackie. Pretty good actress. Jacqueline Bisset, 75 years old today. A couple of Beatles kids celebrate birthdays. Zach Starkey is the son of Ringo Starr and the late Maureen Starkey. He's a drummer, of course. Didn't really show much interest in music until he was 8 years old. Then his dad's buddy, Keith Moon of The Who, gave Zach Starkey a drums kit as a gift, and he started playing the drums. And now, ironically enough, Zach Starkey is the drummer for The Who. Has been for the last 20 years or so. Happy 54th birthday to Zach Starkey and Stella McCartney. Paul and Linda McCartney's daughter is a fashion designer and apparently a very successful and good one. Stella McCartney is 48, so a couple of Beatles kids celebrate the same birthday. Bottom of the hour, everybody's entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. That's coming up next in my conversation with our checker, the voice of the Wild, and David Rayfield of the Wenatchee Wild. It's Wild hockey tonight at the Town Toyota Center. That's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, you know, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, you know, when you're really passionate about something, you know, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, you know, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. If you're ready for a party on the water, check out the line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors. Plush chairs at the rear fishing station will have you casting in comfort. And your friends and family who aren't so interested in what the fish have to offer can lounge on luxurious furniture in the front. See the Sylvan line of pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Hey, what's up? This is Tyson McGuffin, 4-time national pickleball champ, 2-time back-to-back U.S. Open champion, hometown Chelan guy, inviting you to your very own Lake Chelan pickleball tournament at Harmony Meadows. It's going to be an amazing time, and let's get our pickle on.
It's the first annual Lake Chelan Pickleball Tournament, September 20th through 22nd at beautiful Harmony Meadows in Manson. Register to play in the fastest growing sport in the world. There's several classes and categories to compete in. Just visit moretomanson.com, follow the link, and register to play.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I was talking with a liberal the other day who was bemoaning the foils of Donald Trump. Now, suddenly, though, she said, you know, is this how you conservatives felt about Barack Obama? Well, duh. You know, it is amazing to me that people of opposing political views can't begin to accept that there are political views diametrically opposed to theirs that in the perception of others have great merits, or at least some merit. Of course, though, Trump is an idiot. Well, actually, he's not. And therefore, it's okay to hate him. And Obama did ruin this country. Oh, no, actually, he didn't. So it's okay to hate him. This is how people think. Now, sorry, folks. Just because someone doesn't agree with you politically doesn't make them wrong. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
We're here because of the children, because the children need to be protected. Their needs aren't being met.
They didn't ask for any of this stuff. It's not their choices that got them here.
The more adults that a child has that love them, the better off they are.
Children need a whole community to raise them. And if we can do any little thing, it makes a big difference in the child's life.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station. And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Happy Friday. It's more than a happy Friday. It is Wild Hockey Friday. They have their home debut tonight, the long-anticipated home debut after a very successful start to the season. And we are here in the new and improved Town Toyota Center. We'll get to some of the infrastructure upgrades in just a minute. You know my good friend Art Ecker, the voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Nice way to start the season. Not only are we 2-0, but we went up to Canada to do it, and we beat divisional rivals. That's like sugar on the ice cream. Your impressions of the first two games, I know it's early, but you were there and I wasn't. Talk about the weekend up in Canada.
Well, you're very much right about one thing. Getting 2 points in a game is always the ultimate goal. But when you can earn those 2 points in division games, then that's actually almost like 4 points. It's 2 points gained, 2 points not gained by your opponent. So very crucial for the Wild to start off with those 2 victories on the road. We went into Merritt for the first game, and Merritt's always a tough place to play. It's a very small ice surface. It's very constricting. Interesting for the Wild, coming off a preseason where they went 1-3, and the last game they played in the preseason was in Surrey, which is the largest ice sheet in the BCHL. It's an Olympic-size ice sheet. It's a good 200 feet by 100 feet, so it's extra wide. Then you go into Merritt, and next thing you know, you're playing on the smallest ice sheet in the league. So it really changes the dynamic a little bit, but the guys adjusted very well. And I was impressed. I was very impressed. What I saw in the preseason was a young team trying to find their way. And the difference between those first 4 games and then the first 2 games of the regular season, the guys' growth was really exponential. I was actually taken aback a little bit. It was very nice to see. The trivia question you're going to want to jot down, because someday someone's going to say, hey, who scored the first goal of the year? Everybody always wants to kind of roll the clock back.
Who scored the first goal of the year?
I am so glad you asked that, because it turns out it was the newly anointed captain, Brian Adams.
Mm-hmm.
So he got it. It was kind of a putback of another shot. As the Wild came into the zone, they got the shot on net. Rebound bounced off to the side. Adams was right there to swat it home. And then Nick Caffarelli scored the second. He is a name that you're going to be saying over the course of the season many times.
He had a great weekend.
Absolutely.
Oh,
2 goals and an assist. 2 of his goals are just phenomenal. Actually, 3. Yeah, 2 of them are backhand goals. It's just, he's a fun guy to watch. He's not just a goal scorer, but he's a playmaker. His vision is exceptional. And he wears that number 11. And it's interesting because Lucas Sauter wore that number 11 the last 3 seasons here. And he left as a captain, and he went on to Minnesota State Mankato. And I'll be honest with you, I talked to Lucas over the summer, and I thought, well, I don't know who's going to wear number 11 next year, but that's a lot of weight to carry.
Yeah,
on your
absolutely.
shoulders,
He was an extremely popular player.
Big skates to fill, but I think Nick Caffarelli is going to be a kid that people are going to gravitate to. He's got a great personality too, and hopefully we can get him on the show here with you at some point. So, at any rate, getting back to the game, so Merritt. We ended up with a 3-1 victory there. He got the empty net goal late. Then the next night we went into West Kelowna. And the last time we were in West Kelowna was in the playoffs last year in the first round, and we lost 2 of the 3 games there. So it was a little tough. But, West Kelowna got off to a really good start on Saturday night. But the Wild bounced back. They were down 2-0, came back, went up 3-2. West Kelowna tied it. But then we ended up pulling away and got a couple of goals there. And we ended up winning 5-4. And tell you what, the guys have, reason to feel good about what they accomplished, and they should. But at the same time, you have to take it all with a grain of salt, because, you're coming in here. Home opener.
Yeah.
This has always been a tough place for visitors. Vernon's coming in. They're 1-0 on the year, and so they're off to a good start too. And there's no easy nights in the BCHL. And if you get caught with your head in the clouds thinking that you're all that, somebody's going to make you pay for it. So. But the beautiful part is that we've got a coaching staff that has been down this road before, and we've got a leadership group that has been down this road, and they understand that there are no nights off, and you got to really keep your nose to the grindstone.
Let's talk about the leadership group. As you mentioned, Brian Adams is the newly anointed captain. He'll have the C on his jersey. Matt and a few others will have some A's on their jerseys. The captains have been named. Talk about the process. Who decides who the captains are going to be? Is it a coaching decision? Is it a team thing? Is it a little bit of both? How did that decision make it to have Brian wear the big C?
Well, you know, there's a lot of different ways that teams will go about appointing their captains. And, you know, it's interesting because over the years, and especially I think when you grow up, as kids grow up through those different age ranks, a lot of times it's just the best kid on the team, you know, just ends up being the captain. It was like, oh, we'll do what he does, right? But, you know, I think the true sense of it comes down to leadership isn't really, it's not anointed, it's revealed. And, you know, it's not a matter of saying, well, we choose you to be a captain. It's a matter of captains, so through their actions and how they interact with the players, just sort of emerging as leaders. And with that, the players do sort of nominate their own captains. So they go through a process of you know, leadership training and understanding what it's about, and then they gravitate to who their leaders are, and then they submit all that to the coaching staff, and then they kind of look it over and say, yeah, we agree, this is what you want. And Brian Adams was kind of an easy sweep to be named as captain, and Dallas Farrell and Trevor Grabel and Matt Dorsey. So you got a couple of returners, and Farrell may be new here, but he's no newbie in the BCHL. He's been around, so we've got, and then actually Daniel Chenard and Tyler Young have both been named to the leadership group. Now they don't wear letters on their sweater, but when it comes time for a leadership group to get together and discuss matters and that, those guys will be involved in that process.
For the uninitiated, I'm not talking about the captain's responsibilities in the locker room and to his team, but on the ice during the course of play, the captain has a specific role within the team. Talk about that.
Well, when there's incidences on the ice, like penalties being called and they need to be discussed or whatnot, then the captains are the ones that will come over, and they're allowed to stand outside that official semicircle, that little circle around the scorer's table, and visit with the officials. Although it's interesting because I find so many times, so the referee will explain to the captains go back to their benches, and then the coaches go, hey, ref, get over here. So they're like, no, I know you told him, but come tell me. So I don't know, it's interesting how that works, but it's a great honor, and you know, aside from that part of it, it really is wearing that C. I mean, the guys will look down the bench and see how you conduct yourself, and it's more than just putting pucks in the net. It's all about you know, body language. That's a huge part of it as well that people sometimes don't pick up on. Sometimes they do, you know, and it's funny. Scouts will pick up on that. You can be a guy that scores 30, 40 goals in a year, but if you carry the puck up the ice and you turn it over, you don't back check, your shoulders slump, you go back to the bench and bang your stick on the boards or whatever, that's poor body language, and that's indicative of some poison, right? And the scouts will say, and then you get the wrong mark next to your name on that one. So, yeah, you know, being a leader is a huge responsibility because there's a lot of guys that are following your lead, and I think that we've done a really good job of selecting them this year.
One more question before we cut you loose. We're going to have David Rayfield is going to join us to talk about some of the great promotions that are coming up not only this weekend but all season long. Tonight you'll be in the Crow's Nest at your usual location, but things are different here now as far as technology is concerned. This is already, in my opinion, one of the finest rinks in the league. Penticton's rink is pretty nice, or some nice rigs, no doubt about that, the Okanagan Event Center, but who's kidding who? This is a fantastic facility. And now it's even better. High def all the way. You got to be pumped about this.
Yeah, you know, I remember when I first walked in here, that was one of the things that I kind of saw as a stretch goal, and I didn't know that it was going to be able to happen as quickly as it has, because it's a sizable investment. And but you know what, the folks and the powers that be, which is way beyond my pay grade, but somebody up there recognized that, you know what, if you want to keep with the times, this is something that we need to do. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be the ribbons on the sides. They're crisp.
Yeah, they look
in
great.
A way. I mean, they've looked pretty good before, but boy, they're remarkably sharp now. And the main board, and then of course at the other end, which is right above us here, there's the secondary scoreboard, which it will track shots on goal, which we've never had anywhere in the building before, and also it'll track the penalty countdown on this side, because it used to be it was only that one spot down there at the far end, And without it, people would have no idea. You know, the players, they have to spin around. You're coming out of the zone, like, how much time is left? It was kind of a joke, but now it's set up on both ends, and it's a pro move. Excellent job, and my hat's off to Chris Berg and the staff here at the TTC, because it's miles and miles of cable, and the amount of work that goes into it is beyond what anyone could possibly expect.
We got cameras over the goals. There'll be no more guessing on something. Boy, did it cross the line or not? You're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff.
And they're high def.
And they're high def, yeah. So you pumped for tonight? You ready?
Absolutely.
You ready to call the game?
Fired up, and you know, of course, I always love when I get to call a game and it's not preceded by a bus trip.
That's true.
Those bus trips, they wear you down.
Yeah.
I don't care. We got a
Well, you told me you got to bed at, what, 4:30 on Sunday morning after getting back from West Kelowna? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
but you know what? I love the game, and I love this franchise.
We're going to take a quick break, then David Rayfield is going to join us. Tell me a little bit about David before he joins me on camera. What do I need to know?
I'll tell you about David, all right. David is a ball of energy, and we're very excited to have him back in the family. He kind of helped drive the bus, so to speak, here in Wenatchee for a period of time, and I never had the opportunity to work with him. He was on the way out when I came in, but now he sits next to me in the office, and we enjoy it. It's great having him back.
Arch Ecker, it's great to see you again. Vernon Vipers in town for games Saturday and Sunday. David, by the way, is the Senior Sales and Operations Coordinator. And I think my first question will be—
He gave himself that title.
I was going to say, what does that mean?
Yeah, he's like, I just want something that sounds impressive so I can send a business card to my mom and she can frame it and say, look, my boy amounted to something after all.
Go Wild. Arch, it's good to see you. David Rayfield is going to join us next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Lehman Williams, General Manager of Crown Furniture and Mattress. 3 years ago, we decided to make a change to focus on products built in the USA. We made this decision based on better construction, better quality, and better warranties. At Crown Furniture and Mattress, we take great pride in knowing with each and every delivery, we're not just delivering furniture, we're delivering quality and comfort for your family to enjoy for years to come. So stop by and feel the difference at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue, across from Stan's.
Crown Furniture, where prices really are lower.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz alongside David Rayfield. We're here at the Town Toyota Center. By the way, almost all of our Wenatchee Wild interviews throughout the course of the 2019-2020 campaign are going to be here at the Town Toyota Center. It's easier for everybody, and that way we can talk to some of the Wild staff members. We'll be talking to coaches and players, including David Rayfield, whose official title is Senior Sales and Operations Coordinator. Arch is making fun of you about that. Did you give yourself that title, David?
I did not give myself that title, and in this industry at this level, that title is too short, actually. Everyone does everything. So.
Yeah, everybody wears a lot of hats in the Wild organization. Absolutely, they do. Your first time around the show. Introduce yourself to our television family. Tell the folks about David.
From Leavenworth originally, now live here in Wenatchee and love the area and just wanted to be in sports. And this is a great opportunity here locally and wanted to spend the rest of my life here. So plan on being with the Wild for a long time.
It's been a good marriage then.
Yes, I enjoyed it. I'm very glad to be back.
So what exactly is it that you do here for the Wild?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. No, I do a little bit of everything, from selling sponsorships to ticket sales to merchandise to help developing that, and just, creating relationships. Like I'm on this show right now. It's a little bit of everything. I've been on radio. I do public appearances and just try to fill the stands for the boys and create an atmosphere that helps them play better.
And who's kidding who? As we mentioned with Arch, this is one of the best rinks, if not the best rink in the British Columbia Hockey League. I'm biased, of course. But also, as Arch and I mentioned, this technological upgrade behind us is a sight to behold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking that it's just, the timing of it all. But I am so excited about the capability of it all once we get running with it. You know, we got to crawl before we walk, but you know, halfway through this season, I see us putting on some cool stuff that we haven't done before.
It's an incredible toy that you're working with. It's a tool, not a toy. You got to remind yourself that.
Yeah.
But the bells and whistles, the folks at Daktronics are fantastic. We've known them for years. They know what they're doing. Everything is high definition. I know they've been doing training for the last couple of days with Chris Berg and his staff to make sure everybody is up on the latest software and graphics. But tonight, the fans here at the Town Toyota Center, they're going to be in for a treat when they see the new ribbon and everything, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. The ribbon, the board, the overhead cams are actually one of the things I'm most excited about. You know, 360 degrees. There's not a place in this arena that we can't hit with the camera now.
Yeah.
So we're getting everybody that's here. Everyone's going to be involved, and it's just going to be more engaging as a fan having that capability.
All the great promotions that you're so used to for all these years are going to be back. They're going to have Pink at the Rink again. They're going to have Guns and Hoses again. You're going to have Military Appreciation Night. But first things first, we got the Vernon Vipers in town this weekend. What can folks expect tonight and tomorrow night? Promotions, giveaways, all that good stuff, David.
You know, tonight we're starting with Town Auto, and we're actually unveiling a really cool promotion. The last game of the year, they're going to be giving away a 2020 Camry. So we're doing 4 qualifiers, and the first of those qualifiers is tonight.
Okay.
So 4 random fans will get to go out first intermission, and we're lining up 20 pucks on the blue line, and whoever makes the most will advance to the final round.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then after the final round, one person will get a shot from the far blue line at a hole maybe a 1/4 inch bigger than the puck.
Okay.
For a chance at the car. So that's a great promotion by Town Auto we're doing this year, and that's Friday night. And also we have the 509 band coming in. We have hamburgers, basically doing a tailgate party out front on the lawn. So we'll have the band, we'll have burgers, we'll have beer. So come a little early. And
the fans always come early. I've been here for opening night on any number of occasions, and they literally line up all the way down, getting ready to go in and enjoy hockey.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about a line, though. That'll be the next night, Saturday, as Egg Supply gets ready for Cowbells.
Oh, Cowbells.
Oh, yeah. This year, I think we're on our 8th or 9th year.
8th or 9th year.
So
Egg Supply has always been the sponsor, I believe.
Yep, they are a day one sponsor. We're so glad to have them back, as always. And
a lot of sponsors have been with the Wild from the very beginning, and they're probably the easy sells.
Oh,
hi,
yeah.
it's David. Oh, we're in. Whatever, you just tell us. We're part of it.
Exactly. It's become a sense of community. You talk to some of them, and they're like, "Oh, I've had my seats on the glass for 12 years," and they're just so excited to be back. It's like the sponsorship is almost second nature to them, as it's in their budget. They're ready for it. They're ready for their glass seats, and they're ready to cheer on the team. So
and it helps that we're good too.
Yes,
the on-ice product is good.
Yes, I think the coaches for that year in and year out, it makes our job a little easier.
And we talk about this from a marketing standpoint. Nowadays, people expect a show. When they're buying a ticket, it's hockey, and that's the primary reason they're here, but they like the bells and whistles. They want the promotions with the Town Auto Group. They want the chuck-a-puck and the bells and all that stuff. It's a little bit of everything. In the end, it's the hockey, and the hockey team is good. When it comes right down to it, people are here to see the Wenatchee Wild win a hockey game.
Oh, certainly. That helps. You can put as much entertainment on that ice during the intermissions as you want, but if you're not winning...
You're not winning.
Some people might walk away.
Do other folks in the other BCHL teams get a hold of you for advice on things? Because they probably know, hey, Wenatchee's got a good thing going here. How can we tap into that? Hello, David. This is Bob up here in someplace. Give me some tips. Give me some help.
Yeah, certainly. And we do the same. It's, at this level, everyone's sharing. And you're taken from the Seahawks, you're taken from the Mariners, or whatever people are doing. If something works, you're going to imitate it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, not every idea is going to be brand new. Sports have been around quite a while if people don't know. So
you hear that, Art? Sports has been around for quite some time.
News breaking right there. Put that on the ticker.
Now I know. Did you put that on your resume, David? Yeah. Sports has been around for a long time. So we got the Cowbells are on Saturday night. Talk me through the process of when you start planning all these promotions and you're looking at the schedule. This is probably a huge challenge. How long have you been working as you look at the schedule? This is what we're going to do this at this time and that.
The day the season ended last year. So we like to call it Groundhog Day because as soon as this weekend's over, we are on to the next one and working with those sponsors and planning. And, I'm planning for December right now and working with those sponsors, making sure they have their tickets and that we know their intermission and what they want to do. And in today's day and age, a lot of social media. So I'm constantly pumping that and what the sponsor wants out there, making sure you have the right logos, the right product, and making sure that we are hitting all the components that we promised.
For those sponsors out there who might be interested in being part of the Wild family, how do they go about doing it, David?
You know, just call Gretchen and I at the Wild office at 509-888-7825. You'll love it. It's a great sense of community. People come back year after year. You know, they love having their Dashers and seeing their logo. It's
funny because you're right. You're 100% right about that. And it's something that the Wenatchee Wild and the Apple Sox have very much in common. The people see each other during the season. And it's like old home week. You know, tonight at the town tournament, there'll be people who they haven't seen each other since last April, when the last time the Wild played a home game. And it's like, how are you, Bob? What's up with Carol? You know, how are the kids? It's a family.
It's just a sense of community here in this valley that I think is so unique as far as getting so many people under one roof, and like you said, not seeing each other for those summer months and coming in and you're sitting by the same person you've sat by for 12 years and you become family. You do other stuff outside the game, and it's from our sponsors to our season ticket holders to people that just come in groups. It's a sense of community here, and the community's really rallied behind the Wild, and I think that's why we're going on year 12.
One last question before we cut you loose. We're almost done again. We're talking to David Rayfield, whose job title apparently he made up. During the actual games, my guess is your job is so all-encompassing that you don't actually get to watch a lot of hockey, do you?
No, that's been one of the fun things about figuring out the ribbon boards and all the electronics is I'm like, I actually don't know what's going up at what time because I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
To get those intermissions going.
I line produce a lot of the high school football games, and most of the time I don't even know what the score is. I'm just too busy running around making sure everything is okay. So, I know what you're talking about. You have a friend in that regard, David. It's good to see you. Anytime you want to come on the show, let me know.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Arch
it.
is your conduit.
Okay.
And he's also apparently your office mate. You have to sit next to her.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's fun. I'll say that much. The summers are definitely long. No, I'm kidding. He loves his bus trips when he gets to get away from me. I know he was saying bad things about the bus, but he's hopping on that as quick as he can to get away from me. So,
David, it's nice meeting you, buddy.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you.
Let's have a great year.
Oh,
Let's have a really
will.
good year. Again, tonight and tomorrow night, the Vernon Vipers are in town. The big party is it Saturday night is the big band in the beer garden? Or is that tonight?
Both nights, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Friday night, we're having it here. The next night, we're doing it at the River Rock Gym.
Okay,
so,
right across the street.
Yeah, we're going to have more games. Walt will be over there taking pictures, and the Quake will be down playing music, and we're just going to kind of create. Since we got games in September and warm weather, let's be outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Wild hockey, it's back. Can't wait for it. David, thanks for doing the show. I appreciate it.
Go Wild.
You're watching Go Wild. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
And we are back on this Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Here's your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Big cold front's coming in. It's going to make its presence felt especially over the weekend. The big story today is going to be the wind. Going to be a little breezy at times today. Northwest wind about 6 to 11 miles an hour this morning. Going to pick up in intensity till about 12 to 17 miles an hour this afternoon. Gusts up near 30 at times for the Wenatchee Valley and the Waterville Plateau. So get ready for a breezy afternoon. Winds will die down tonight, but the clouds will be definitely rolling in. 58 for the overnight low. No sun for the weekend, I'm afraid. Saturday, mostly cloudy but dry, high of 74. And then a better than 50% chance of rain on Sunday, probably most of it in the morning, and we'll top off at 68 degrees. Everybody have a great weekend, provided this show isn't canceled. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.